Hey guys, happy Friday.
Peace out, man.
We are back. No guest again tonight, so you're stuck with us. Sorry. Just want to reach out to anybody that might be struggling, might need some help, might need some support, some guidance. That's what we're here for. We're here to hopefully share some hope and help you gain some strength with maybe a loved one that might be suffering still in addiction, some that may be struggling with possible relapse, and some that are doing well. There's nothing better than hearing the hope from somebody that struggled, that found their way back and is doing well.
Anybody struggling with summertime merriment?
Yes.
It's the season, a lot of parties, barbecues.
Yes.
Peer pressure.
Graduation
parties.
Yeah. This is a tough time. You know, first prom, then graduation, everybody going down the shore. You know, they're away from their normal, and that can have an effect on somebody that isn't feeling quite right in their skin. And that's a big thing for somebody that is young and struggles.
Being down the shore, your friends and on the beach running around, they're triggers. Could be triggers. They're down the shore, you know. A lot of people associate going down the shore with drinking and such. It's tough.
Yes, it is. And it's a tough time because there's so many family parties as well that, you know, revolve around alcohol. It's a hard time. So, you know, try and be mindful if you are struggling and you are in, and if you are in that relapse mode, or you just haven't, you know, gotten it yet. You have to just really be mindful of everybody around you. And Larry says, weekends, how do I handle it and stay sober? Weekends are another struggle, especially with those that, you know, do the keggers, you know. You have that.
Everybody and their brother smoke a pot now. It's like the all-American pastime. Mm-hmm. It's like everybody.
Hey, Sandy. Hey, Larry. Welcome, Colleen. Yeah, it's a hard time. And summer is a tough time because everybody's doing picnics and barbecues and, you know, a lot of weddings, just a lot of outdoor stuff. Just, you know, hanging at home. It's a really hard time to stay sober for those that are suffering from addiction. So, you know, if you happen to be in recovery, please, you know, be mindful. Make sure that you are with, you know, somebody strong in their recovery, and have an exit plan if you're starting to feel uncomfortable and you're starting to get that trigger of, you know, the smell, the clinging of the ice is a big one for those that are in recovery. I didn't know that, but can be a real trigger. And popping the tab on a can can be a trigger as well. May just be a Coca-Cola, like pop, you know, that sound can also be a trigger. So, and it's around us all the time. It's just when you're in a large group of people and some of them are drinking, you have to be mindful of your support and reaching out to those that are there, in recovery or just there to support you in your recovery. So keep that in mind and be mindful of that, because that is something that is,
What's up, Fred?
Grace,
welcome aboard.
Hey, Grace. Hey, Fred. I don't see Fred on mine, but I'm sure.
He's
Oh,
on
there
mine.
he is.
Happy Friday.
I see. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Fred.
How's our audio tonight, gang? Hopefully, we tried to get to the bottom of that buzzing, and we can't find nothing. It seems to have went away on our end.
Yes, hopefully we're not buzzing in your ear tonight, and hopefully everybody had a good week. If you could share this out, you never know.
Thanks,
who
Larry.
is out there that might need to jump on or to maybe go back and rewatch something. You never know. You never know who is watching. You never know who may need this. You never know who is on your page that just might say, hey, let's check this out. And, it could be a pivotal moment that they're ready to relapse or they're ready to pick up. And, if we help one person out of any of these shows, then, it's all worth it to me. Everybody just, has to find their niche, their path to staying sober, finding recovery, and finding just normalcy in their life. It's hard times right now with all of the craziness and where our world is today. So, reach out and help the next person, because you never know what that person might be struggling with. You never know what happened, before they left the house today. So just be mindful of that and reach out and share this out if you could. We don't have any speakers tonight, so...
Hello, I'm a speaker. I love to talk. And I'd like to say hi to all you fathers out there this Sunday. I want to wish you a happy Father's Day.
Yes.
Hopefully, your families are back in your life. And Larry, I hope you get that new tie you've been looking for.
Mm-hmm. And I never asked. I hope your dinner was good for that Saturday dinner with the family. Larry just had a big birthday, so he was grateful to share it with his family. Not everybody gets that chance anymore today. So, when you get your family back in your life, it's nice to have that. It's nice to have that, support again and to be able to be there for the family and with the family. If you are struggling and you need just to hear some support or want some support, we're here. Just pop it into the comments. I do have to let you know that if you do write anything in the comments, whoever jumps on this page will see your comment. So if you want to be anonymous, you can give us a call in at 267-737-8031 and just say, hello, this is Joe Bag of Donuts. That way your name is not out there, your question is being asked, and we can share whatever, we may have went through on our end. So feel free to pop that in there, and we're going to watch the comments and reach out to you and give you whatever we find. That's nice. Larry got a tie and matching handcuffs for his birthday. Yes, good for you.
Yeah, probably them felt covered ones. Yeah. Them. Well, we're not going to get into that thing. It goes all behind closed doors.
Yes. And Eric, welcome back. Eric was on vacation for a little bit from Facebook. They didn't like a post that he made. So
that'll teach you to talk about the virus.
So he's back with us again tonight. Thank goodness you got back in time for the show. But if anybody out there is struggling, please let us know. We can, give you whatever feedback we can. Grace and Larry are part of our After Dark group. So, yes, I love when my...
Grace and Eric.
Yes. Grace and Eric is part of the After Dark family. We also have Deborah that checks in with us, and Liz and Stacy on occasion. Maybe SVB will be checking in. I sent him the feed. So anybody out there struggling, anybody have anything that they want to talk about, want to discuss, we're here. Pop it in the comments or give us a call.
People are struggling everywhere this heat. We had a guy collapse in front of the house today, but Lori to the rescue.
Yes.
She rendered assistance.
And I tried to help, and I hope that whatever I was able to offer,
It was a reaction of the heat and the Zambuca that he took with him for the walk today.
Yes, and it was a shame. I really got him talking, and I got him to a place where he might have possibly gone to seek some treatment, but a neighbor called and the ambulance, and he went with them instead. So I'm hoping to check in with him and see maybe if we can't help him find some treatment when he's ready. But that'll be up to him. I can only give the information to him. When are the services? So, what's up? What's everybody up to? Any fathers out there have any special plans for this weekend? I'm going to go ahead and read a page out of the Naranon book. I forgot my book, sorry. So, I'm going to read today's reading. And if anybody wants to chime in on the reading, feel free. Whenever I am asked to speak at a meeting, I automatically feel panic. What could I possibly say that would help someone, especially a newcomer? How can I reveal my blunders and my mistakes? How will doing this help anyone? Why do I still have so many character defects? All these questions run through my mind, and the self-doubt starts to build. The committee in my head roars. I take a deep breath to clear my head, and I say a silent prayer. Higher power, help me to say something that will help someone, and please do not let me sound desperate and crazy. Let me share my experience, strength, and hope. Let me tell them how the Naranon program has helped me bring peace and serenity into my life. Help me to get the message to those in need. I remember I must turn my life over to the care of my higher power. Then I am confident that what I say and how I say it will be what someone needs to hear. I here give hope as I share my story and reveal the new strength I have found in the program. I trust that what I say is my higher power's will. I know I am being guided to carry the message. And the thought for today, my recovery and my program are gifts I have received from other Naranon members. When I am asked to speak, this is my chance to pass on some of the strength and rewards that I have received in the program. And the quote for today is, "We cannot hold a torch to light another's path without brightening our own." Ben Sweetland. So, not sure if that resonates with anybody, but just wanted to read that. I know that when I first started coming into the meetings, I struggled with speaking. And look at me today.
I've been with her for 37 years. I never seen her struggle with speaking.
Yes.
No problem speaking her mind. Oh my
No.
goodness.
But in a large group, that's a different story. I guess I'm easier here because it's just me talking to myself on a screen. So, thank you, Grace. I sent it to him too. I know he does a lot of driving. So, we have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello. I wanted a whip, but I already have a set of handcuffs. But now I have to.
Now you have two.
Stereo.
So, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Yeah, I'm
Awesome.
watching my uncle again, and
Yes.
I was. It was funny you talked about summer and the weekend because I was at a Zoom meeting earlier, and a person brought up like, how can he handle the weekends? Because during the week he works and he's very new in the sobriety, and he says that bothers him. The weekends are really hard for him. So we're giving advice, and I said to him, get a sponsor, get somebody to call, go to a meeting. There are a lot of meetings online. They're like 24/7. And as soon as you get that urge, get out. Get out of whatever situation you're in. 'Cause, I thought I could handle it too, and yeah, I can handle it till I couldn't handle it, and then it would be package store and home, and eventually there was no weekend. There's just me and the bottle. Every day was a weekend or a weekday. It didn't matter. It was just drinking day.
Right.
And the thing is, like you said, have an escape plan. Go with somebody who's strong in sobriety. And if it's really tough and you think you're really going to have a problem, don't go at all.
Right.
It might be fun. It might be relatives. It might be best friends. But like the old saying goes, play that tape through, because you play it through, it's going to happen 99% of the time, with very few exceptions.
Right.
You're going to wind up drinking. You're going to wind up doing something else, and and then the next day you're going to regret it. You're going to hate yourself, but are you going to do it again, or are you going to go get help?
Right.
And it gets to be a real problem. Was for me. So
I
had to seek the help that I needed.
Right. And I also heard, just through my meetings and when I'm at the meetings where they have the speakers and everything, they always say, like, a lot of these events when you're fresh out of recovery are with family members, whether it's a wedding, a birthday, a christening, whatever the event may be. Most times when you come out of early recovery, you're getting back with the family, and everybody thinks like, okay, you're fixed, let's go. We have the christening, we have the wedding, and they're just not, the family isn't real educated on what is about to happen. And one things that they did say is, say for instance, somebody's coming out of rehab, they have a wedding and they're in the wedding, and how do you exit from something like that when you need to leave? And they had said that it would be best if they just had a code word, and like, it's getting to me, I can't take it anymore, cheese and crackers, whatever. And the family, the friends, whoever it is, whatever situation you're in, they know, like, okay, they're struggling, they need to get to a meeting, they're going to get their support. So there's no questions asked. Nobody's like, stop, what are you doing, where are you going? You just, I'm going to go get some fresh air, and then that's the end of it, because you have to protect your sobriety at whatever cost. And I think that is such a smart thing, a smart tool for that toolbox is to come up with that code word, so everybody knows that, everybody that knows that you're in recovery understands why you left abruptly, because that can be, hard on on somebody. So
Like, I'm sure Larry has a release word for the handcuffs, like when things get carried away. I mean, that's a safe word.
that's 50 Shades
Yeah.
of Grey.
Tippy toe,
That's-
tippy toe.
Thank you, may I have another?
Tippy toe.
Well,
And,
well my,
I
Go
think if I could chime in on that, Larry, I think when you're in that weekend situation like that, especially when you're early in recovery, it's probably best to try and surround yourself with sober people and kind of hang out with sober people just to get used to hanging out again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because, I mean, when you're fresh into sobriety, like you go out, especially weekends. I mean, a lot of people just save themselves up to really let their hair down on the weekends. You know what I mean? They work all week. I know I used to be like that, and then come Friday night, it was off to the races. We're out there, and all week long, maybe it wouldn't be as much, but for the weekend, I would like make up for it.
And
yeah,
then,
of course.
Yeah, and that's so important that we have those tools. Just another tool in the toolbox. The best support anybody can have is somebody that is a peer person that is going through the same thing, that is suffering the same issues. So many of the people in recovery also deal with the mental illness, and being with like-minded people that have gone through these situations is the best support I feel that anybody could find. Is depression, anxiety on top of recovery. That's a tough one. And if you are not facing that situation, you don't know how to help that person. So
And I gotta be honest, I mean, I find our friends in recovery are having more fun on the weekends than our friends that aren't in recovery. I mean, they're doing so many more things. They're having fun. They're actually doing things instead of just sitting there belly up to the bar, watching sports or complaining. Or
Yeah.
if you really look at it, it's kind of sad. And I know people have been doing it for their whole lives. My God, what kind of life is that?
It's an easy habit to get into, man.
Surely.
Get tanked up and start whining and complaining and having all the answers to everything. Yeah.
Right.
And then you get depressed. Some people get depressed. Some people get nasty.
Yeah.
Some people just
Well,
become real mellow.
Yeah, the
But they're not
mental
doing
illness
nothing.
too. Go ahead. I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, but they're not doing nothing. I'm at people in recovery. They're out having kickball and dodgeball games. Everybody's there acting like young people having a good time. I don't have my other friends doing that. They look at me like I had two heads. Hey, I want to go out and play some dodgeball.
They go. I know a lot of people that go hiking. They have like a whole group that go hiking. They have a whole group that meets at different parks. I know in our area we have the park that has the what is that, golf?
Frisbee golf.
Frisbee golf.
We got our friend John that has that cat club.
Yeah. Tyler Park has frisbee golf.
Yes,
Tyler Park
it does.
has-
Yeah, I played that. It's great. I have a lot of fun.
And I do see that people they're actually like forming groups that are going out and doing this kind of stuff, and it's kind of
Yeah.
neat that you're finding things that's just not bowling, and so many people love bowling too. I'm not knocking bowling. I love bowling, but everybody that looks at recovery thinks, oh, just what I want to do. Go to meetings and go
meetings.
bowling.
So much more to it.
Yeah, so I love that. There's those other avenues.
Yeah, I was the same way about bowling. Oh, I don't want to go. I'm too cool for that. So I finally broke down and went and had a good time. Mm-hmm. And another thing is about the mental illness too, because I suffer from depression. I take medication for it, and that could be another block, another hurdle as far as stop drinking and all. And you get your friends that you used to drink with, or you store your friends. They understand that some will understand that you have this problem, but they don't understand that you cannot do it anymore. I cannot do this anymore. And they think, well, he's okay now. He's been clean for a while. Come on, you can have a couple. You know, it's
Right.
just,
Oh yeah.
they're just innocent about it, you know, because they don't have the situation or the education that the addict or the alcoholic had.
Right.
And what the struggle is. And, you know, like, sometimes it takes a lot of talking to get me to drink, or it might take 2 words.
Right.
You know, it
Depending
depends on the
where your head
situation.
is.
Timing's everything.
Yeah. You know, stinking thinking can take you right into the
Yeah.
ugliest places.
And not only friends, family just as guilty as that. Like, you know, like, oh, let him have a beer. He never had a problem with alcohol. You know, he had a problem with pills. You
Right.
know, like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, he could have a beer. Like, no,
Yeah.
because
And-
they don't know. They don't understand.
That is probably one of the biggest things we hear in our family parent group is, you know, well, they're doing heroin, so they can have a beer. They can have wine.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a glass of wine, you know, and they just don't understand that, you know, when you do, you know, substance use disorder, everything comes into pills, heroin, you know, crack, that's all lumped into that. And everybody forgets that alcohol is the most abused substance out there. But because it's not in a pill form and it's drinkable and legal, that it doesn't fall into the substance use disorder.
Yeah, how many people said, "Oh man, my son's doing good. He's not. He drinks, but I
Right.
mean, he's not touching that, and he only drinks beer. He's not drinking the hard stuff."
Right.
And we just gotta sit there.
I know that excuse.
Right. And I will say, I know people that have been doing that for a long period of time. And if you can do that, hey, more power to you. If you can control that, more power to you. And I hope you control that for the rest of your life. But life happens, shit happens, and you know, you never know what tomorrow will bring. So, you know, they just have to be mindful of that. And I pray that they're working some kind of a program, because you're really going to need that strength to keep, you know, from that just going into a bigger issue, and losing more than you've gotten. And yes, Eric, just one. That's all it takes.
Yeah, it's all, yeah. My thing was like, you know, you talk about the weddings and all the get-togethers and people drinking. Well, when I finally put my, you know, myself into the work here, like 4+ years being sober, I let everybody know that I couldn't drink, that I had a problem. You know, I never came out and told them I was an alcoholic. I just told them I couldn't handle it. And if they press the issue, what are you, an alcoholic? I tell them, yep, I am. And so everybody knew, especially my relatives, people who knew I was in recovery and went to rehab and all that stuff. And everybody did know, got to know. So it was like, here I am, everybody. I'm an alcoholic. Please don't encourage me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So they would kind of, you know, in fact, it got in the beginning was like, Larry, you don't mind if I drink? No, I don't care if you drink. That doesn't matter to me.
Right.
That's not going to trigger me. I mean, if it's going to trigger me, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
So, yeah.
Just don't pour a shot in my soda.
Yeah.
Well, so many people don't know what to expect, Larry. See, that's the problem. They're very uneasy. That's why they got to ask, because they're not very well educated, and they don't want to do something that would be rude or such, or uncomfortable for you. You know, so
right.
They're confused.
And Eric, I have to say, Naked Yard Jarts, old style, yeah, there's definitely going to be alcohol there, so you better find support to get you out of that situation.
Naked lawn darts, is that what it's saying? Oh,
Yes.
naked jar. Well, you got to dip the jarts in alcohol so you don't get an infection.
So how was your birthday dinner?
Oh, it was great. There's about 20 people there,
Wow.
all relatives and all. And I had them, they wanted me to make a speech, so I told them about, you know, I thanked them for their hopes and prayers and all. that, without them, they would, one of the reasons why I stayed sober, for all the encouragement that they gave me. And,
Right.
and it's the truth, it was like all hands on deck to help get me sober. I didn't do this by myself,
No. And
it was
again,
like-
it's a we program.
Yeah. And now rewards, like Father's Day, I will go over to my son's place, and my daughter's going to be there. We'll have a nice little Father's Day thing. Whereas
Very
4 years
nice.
ago, they wouldn't even look at me.
Right.
Because I wouldn't look at them any either, because I was too busy looking at whatever I was drinking.
Right.
But times have changed, man. How much better I feel, and they feel too now. And they always want to hear. My son always wants to hear about what I do at the meetings, how did it go, and this and that. He's really interested in my recovery and what I'm doing and what I'm saying, which makes me feel good, because that's about my life now. Is all the people I really know are in recovery.
Right.
And I go to meetings and stuff like that, and it's a good crowd. And
Right.
it's a crowd that
We
keeps
see
me
it at a
straight.
lot of events, and you help you inspire a lot of people, Larry, whether you believe it or not.
You
I
do.
mean, your upbeat attitude and your honesty. I mean, you're very inspiring in your stories.
Yeah, I can't wait till that ride for recovery. I'll bring my handcuffs. Maybe somebody will play.
Well, you're always welcome to come join me at the DJ booth, but I can't spin, man, if I'm handcuffed. So I'm going to need a safe word.
And today, Lara, your story made a difference for somebody.
I hope so.
I did not share your name, but I did share your stories, what you talked to us about, and it really, it had this person really thinking and really, communicating with me, and hopefully, that could be a bit of a seed for him to
Good.
seek that recovery. So, people are helping people. People, just the share,
People
just
who
the
need us.
share of stories can be so powerful. It's
Well, you could use my name anytime. I'm not
Okay.
embarrassed by that. Anytime
Okay.
I call, you can use my name. As long as it helps somebody, that's all. It's great. I'm happy for that.
awesome.
And I'm going to hang up now, because maybe somebody else wants to call and share.
Awesome.
So thank you for letting me take up your time.
No problem, Mr. Shakopoulos. You're welcome to call in anytime. you
Mr.
like.
Sagapopoulos, yes. Everything you wanted to know about sex was afraid to ask. Yes, I remember that movie. Okay. All right.
Thank
see
you
ya.
so much, Lara.
Good night, Larry. Thanks.
Hey.
That was our famous Larry. He always has such inspiration and kindness to share. He amazes me. He just really has gotten so much of his life back, and what a wonderful feeling to have that.
Oh, yeah,
Just-
you can just see how he lights up when he tells his story. I mean, he's got so much back in his life, and he's very thankful, very humble about it. He goes to a lot of meetings and helps a lot of people. It's like all week long we run to Larry all the time, different meetings. And all he tries to do as many as he can and inspire as many people through his stories, and he really does.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Eric. I'm not trying to for a pat on the back or anything. I'm looking for guidance to like how much further I can go to help him.
Yeah, it's
But
like
listening to Larry's story was, I mean, he was in tears, and he was like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Really? This is everything."
We see this gentleman right by the house on his bike quite frequently.
Yeah.
And we always figure out there's something to the story, we don't really talk. But today he was really out of character. He was on foot, and he was really in bad shape.
Yeah, probably not out of character, because his phone was given to me. It was his daughter, who apparently he must have been supposed to be meeting, and he was supposed to get to the train station and see his daughter, and apparently a bottle of Sambuca got in the way, and his daughter called in. He was like, "Oh, this is my daughter." I said, "Oh, can I talk to her?" And he says, "Yeah, sure." So he was hitting on my aunt, and I just talked to the daughter, and I was like, your dad's here. I'm going to walk him to his. He lives in a camper. I'm going to walk him down to his camper and, make sure he gets there okay. And she was like, "Let me guess, you found him face down on the side of the road again." And I just was so sad for her, because, here she is expecting him, and it didn't happen. So somewhere along the way, and I don't know where the liquor store is between here and the train station, but he found it and
Probably
never
took
got
it with
home.
him.
Never got home. So she was 45 minutes to an hour away, and somebody called the ambulance, and I was hoping to call somebody from rehab to come pick him up, but the ambulance got there before I could get him that far. So hopefully he's at the hospital getting the help that he needs, and
Or we'll be beating on our front door.
yeah,
What the hell did do to me?
that could be. I doubt very much he even knows what happened. That he was pretty bad. So, it's Larry's story really, really touched him, and this gentleman has been to recovery, and fell on hard times that took him back to, drinking to just get rid of that pain. And it's sad when you have to think that, when you think that that's what's going to help you, is hurting yourself with the alcohol or drugs, whatever your choice is. Most of the times it's drugs and alcohol, but you never know what it is. So with that, I'm just grateful to have heard the stories that I can share with people that are in those throes, that might help guide them to seeking that help.
There's Dorothy, Larry's story. It's got many chapters.
Yes. And Larry's story is just one example of how the 12-step works, and how
recovery can just give you your life back. It's like such a good story. I mean, and the way he tells it, it's so plausible. He tells the story well.
Yes, he does. And like we said in the reading, a lot of people have those quirks that they just feel insecure in sharing their stories. And I always felt insecure about sharing them, but once you're in that group of people that are going through the same thing that you are going through, that are feeling the same things that you're feeling, you tend to get a little bit more comfortable in your skin, and you're able to talk more. And you may just say a little bit of something that will spiral into a whole group, opening up a bigger conversation and finding more hope and more, strategies to help keep yourself well while your loved one is still struggling. So that's why support is so important. That's why getting to meetings, doing the Zooms, the Blue Jeans, whatever it should be, is so helpful. I actually sat through a presentation today that was very insightful. And if you go on to liveinggrin.org, you'll find the presentation. You learn something new every day. It's it's shocking on some of the things that you hear. Like you just never thought that way. You never thought about that. So his name is Dr. Let me see if
Shakopoulos?
let me see if I can
That
find
name
it.
just keeps sticking in my head. I don't know
There you
what I'm
go.
doing.
Go talk while I find this.
Well, gang, I learned something today. I learned that I cannot touch my ear with my elbow.
There you
You
go.
know, and then they say that's the only thing you should ever stick in your ear is your elbow. And I finally came to grips with it and realized today what they meant by that saying. Now here I am, 59 and 3/4 years old, and I never made that. We have a caller. Somebody don't want to listen to me.
We have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, peeps.
And how are we today?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I never cut in. I figured I'd give you all a shot.
Yeah? And who are we speaking to?
This is Igor Flapazinski.
That's a very familiar name. Well, Mr. Lapatumsky, how you doing today?
And are you in recovery?
I sure am.
You sure am. And what is your strongest support?
My shoes.
Your shoes.
Now, would that be a...
Good arches.
Yeah, strong arches are very important in supporting yourself through your travels through recovery. I would have to agree with that.
Yes.
What's your go-to thing, really, when you're feeling a little anxious or feeling a little tempted? What do you do? What's one of your strategies that you do? Do you reach out to someone? Do you tough it out yourself? They're like,
I can help somebody that's struggling. Hello?
hello?
Yes. You go to somebody that's struggling.
Yeah.
Okay. And
That makes it feel better.
right. So you reach out to them to help you feel better about what you've been through.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. And that's the best part. That's why we have,
Copy.
these programs out there, because helping somebody else get to a better place in their life is what this is all about. It's, and you have so much positive to offer. That's, you really offer a lot of positivity and a lot of strength. And,
Works.
and I also know Mr. Shakopoulos here,
Victor Shakopoulos.
Victor, that
That
is.
makes me just call.
He does a lot of writing, and he does a lot of amazing writing, and he's always coughing. But
I like it.
Probably a smoker. Are you a smoker, Mr. Shakopoulos?
I think he's
I
an
used to-
ex-smoker.
I'm not talking about what kind of videos you watch. I'm talking about the physical act of smoking a cigarette.
That's what I'm on. I'm smoking it now.
But he's very inspirational with his poems that he writes. He just gives a lot of inspiration out there. And in case you didn't know that, yes, you do.
He has a gift. He has a gift.
You do have a gift to gab and a gift to write. Your comments sometimes go over my head, but I'm blonde, so, what can I say?
Sometimes you lose her with your witty banner.
Yes,
Your witty banner escapes her at times.
yes. So, how are you doing, Mr. Shakalapa?
I'm trying to shut these headphones off that I have because I'm hearing double.
Yes,
No,
I hear you.
boring.
I hear you stumbling around.
I can't shut them off.
No, are
Come
they
on.
on a wire or are they on
They're
Bluetooth?
wireless.
Wireless.
Yeah, they're Bluetooth.
Well, that you sound better now. Bluetooth came over really clear.
I can't believe it. They will not shut up.
Turn off your Bluetooth. How about meetings? Do you attend meetings?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
And do you mind me asking how long?
With this garbled voice of the questions, I feel like we're watching What's My Line.
Yeah.
I feel like I was getting a flashback to like as a kid sitting there eating a bowl of cereal watching What's My Line in the living room.
And can you share with us your clean time?
Oh, yeah. I got up at 9:30 today.
Good for you, Eric.
Ah, jeez, you blew it. You blew it. I mean, so much for the anonymity. Boy, oh boy, you're terrible.
Yes. I'm
It's
sorry.
Victor.
It's Victor. It's Victor Shapalak. I guess I keep forgetting.
I
I'm
never
sorry.
gave a shit when I was drunk and high in anybody's front yard when they found me.
Yeah.
I eventually told them my name. It's Tim again. Now they already knew me.
Right. Now,
So who cares?
did you
know?
do a treatment center? Did you have to go through treatment for your recovery?
Not for the alcohol. I had to go to a detox for the pills. They put me on. They put me on. I don't know what they call it. Vitamins for a long time. And I couldn't take them.
Right.
I went into detox, and 30 days later, I walked out.
Very good. And how long ago was that?
That was in 2007.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Now-
Yeah, it was. I
What-
never picked up a drink.
Yeah. What do you think
Right.
is your best support? If you run into somebody struggling, what would you tell somebody that just needs to hear something that might help them through?
Watch this. Come with me.
Good for you. And that I
I'll tell you,
think
when they're with me, they're like, wow, you can do this.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, bro.
And that's the best when you can actually take them, because a lot of people won't step into a meeting without somebody, getting them there is sometimes the hardest thing.
One of the funnest things I've ever done in my life is just go to different meetings, like out of town, and walk in. And, like I went to one in California and told them I was from Akron. And they thought I was like the AA Gestapo. They were afraid of me.
That was a pretty long drive, though.
Well, no, it was, that's when I went out to bury my uncle.
Aw.
I needed a meeting out there, so I hit a couple of them. And it's funny, like the third meeting, they're like, that's him. That's a guy from Akron.
Wow.
I'm not from Akron. I'm from Youngstown. It's 50 miles away from Akron.
Right. And that's the nice thing about the program is, there's so many. There's so many.
There's a saying I love. It's AA is the only place you could walk into with total strangers and reminisce.
Right. Exactly.
You know?
And that's hard for some people, and I get that. I understand that. I know there's different paths for everybody. But
Oh, yeah.
I just, just going in somewhere with like people has a tendency to help those that are struggling.
That's not that somebody that's already been recovering and relapses. It's harder for them to go back to a meeting than it is fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what,
Victor.
Victor? I actually talking to those that we would go talk to on the street. You know, you don't see them for a long time, and then there they are again, and it's like, where you been? What's going on? And like, oh, I relapsed, and you know, I can't get back to meetings. You know, people will look down on me. They'll, you know, and it's so far from the truth for most parts, for most people.
That's why group conscience meetings are so good for these groups where the
Right.
home group gets together and
Right.
says, look, if somebody comes back,
Right.
welcome them. Much even you don't like them, welcome them. You know,
Right.
Make them feel like
Exactly. And if you're that embarrassed and you don't want to feel judged, then there's other meetings. Like, and even if it's you go to a CA or an NA, something that you haven't been to before, you know, there's other pathways to choose. So I really hope that, you know, people understand that and hopefully hear this and realize that relapse doesn't necessarily mean collapse, and that they can find, you know, another meeting to go to until
Go to an Overeaters Anonymous meeting and be the thinnest guy in the room. I mean,
There
there's
you
lots of
go.
things you can do.
Yes. Just find that support somewhere.
And lies say, I was 1,200 pounds at one time until I found Overeaters Anonymous. And you would be so insightful. The other people, they would drop their donuts.
So that's awesome that, you know, you help the next person. That's what the program's about, helping and service.
I have walked up to the most grungy looking, nasty, smelly, drunk people and shook their hand, gave them a cup of coffee. And, you know, it don't matter. It's just what they need.
Right. Exactly.
I don't care what they look like. I
Right.
don't care what they look like.
So I should have had a cup of coffee today. Damn it.
I'm not going around you.
She decided all of a sudden in her life that coffee's repulsive. Now, somebody I seen drink coffee for years and years and years and years, and one day just, it's just repulsive now. She had like, I don't know.
Can't. I would have two cups of coffee every single day. And I woke up one day and the smell of it just turned my stomach. And
Sounds like me and cigarettes.
yeah, and the taste just. But give me an iced coffee and I'll be chugging that right on down. Hot coffee.
Putting shit in your coffee, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's because I'm putting caramel in it. Can't you tell?
Oh, no.
Caramel, whipped cream. You got
Try
to.
the Malibu Colada. I love them things.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have Dunkin'.
And I love coffee ice cream.
I got to say that when I quit smoking, one of the weirdest things was everything tasted salty to me. My toothpaste tasted salty to me. I couldn't even eat like canned vegetables for a while because anything prepared like, oh my God, I became so sensitive to salt. I'll never forget that. It was the weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. But now I've since gotten over it. I stick to the 4 basic food groups now: grease, fat, oil, and salt. And I got things all leveled out now. I'm doing well.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll tell you, when I first quit smoking, boy, it was weird. Like, I guess all that tar came off of my taste buds, and like I opened up a whole new world
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah. It was crazy in the beginning. That was.
And I was a heavy smoker, man. I was 2 packs a day every day on weekends. Especially when I was out imbibing in adult beverages, I could easily smoke 3 packs of cigarettes on a weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was crazy. And I was a truck driver. I smoked whenever I wanted. Like I didn't have scheduled times where I could go outside. Like you see them poor people in the offices out there smoking 2 cigarettes back to back, on a break.
We would go out and he would have 1 cigarette burn in the ashtray, 1 in his hand, and he would be going for another one to light it. Like, how many are you going to smoke at one time?
I was walking around the bar telling jokes, and I would lose track of my cigarettes. I don't know.
Like, how many of these are you going to smoke at one time? Can we put one of them out? please? So yeah, it's an addiction. It's, hard habits to break. And my understanding is cigarettes are one of the hardest things for people to break. So that,
I still don't believe I don't smoke. I still wonder why people didn't smoke. I used to
Yeah.
think they don't know what they're missing. They're too wrapped up in the whole cigarette thing. They would be feel so much better if they smoked. I used to think that.
How long it was going to take to burn down and burn the fingers. We bet on it.
yep,
You pull that baby off and part of your lips stuck to the filter.
that was the worst.
Oh my
that was
God!
the
How many
worst.
times have you done that? Especially if you're sitting there working on something, you got to wrench it. You got that thing hanging at you,
Yeah.
yapping. You fix something, you pull it off, and half your lips sticking to this filter. I hate
How
that.
about putting it backwards or lighting the wrong end?
Yeah, lighting the wrong end. That's horrible.
Yeah, that stinky. I've done that. You get that nasty filter smell, like son of a bitch.
Take
Yes.
a big inhale of the wrong end of the. God.
Yep.
Then
Yeah.
Look for the scissors.
I forgot about the wrong end thing.
Yes.
It gets all hard. You can't get this smoke through. You got to throw that cigarette away. I'm never
Yeah.
going to smoke that.
Yes, you have to.
Right?
It's trash. You can't even chink them anymore. They just stink. It's just chink them out and ugh. Who wants to relight that? It's nasty. I can't do that.
See people do it all day long. Oh,
I know. Well, with the price of cigarettes today, they have no choice.
man. I can never afford my cigarette habit today. Holy smokes.
Yep. Yep. Well, it is a pleasure to talk to you. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. You always have, something good to say. So,
Yeah. Now, rather than being a smart ass, it was February 9th of 92 was when I put the drink down and started going to meetings.
very nice.
But I didn't quit when I was doing not down, what do they call them, bacon. I kept going to meetings, but I felt like a, not a cosmonaut. What's the word?
Oh, my. Sir, this is a serious program, Mr. Shakopoulos.
Yes.
Boy, my brain doesn't work as good as it once did.
No, it sucks getting old, damn it.
And the two that I have left are always fighting each other.
Yes. And that is true. It's hard when you are in the AA program and you have to have medication for whatever reason. And
Yeah.
keeping that, quiet, because this is a honest program. And
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're not divulging anything, you're being honest, because you are there because you did quit drinking. And as long as nobody knows that you have another issue, but still the same, there's some people that are on medication,
Yeah.
that are taking it according to the doctor's advice and not abusing it.
Well, I did. I did for like 4 years, and then I tried to not take them. That was my problem.
Right.
After 4 years, it's not very easy to stop taking opiates.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
It is not. After 3 months, it is not. I've been there myself. After 3 months, I was like,
Restless
why
leg-
does...
I had insomnia for like 5 days. I couldn't sleep.
Yes.
I had restless leg syndrome and all that crazy.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. It's
It was bad.
yeah. It's crazy. I mean, I know that feeling, only because I had to stop. Well, I didn't have to stop. The doctors wanted to keep giving me medication, and I was like, I've lost 3 months of my life just not being able to move because of the medication they had me on, and I just stopped it. I was like, I'm not doing this stuff anymore. I hate it.
I
And
felt like a guinea pig, Ma.
yeah,
Like, here,
well,
let's try this. It was my back. I'd injured my back and I can't walk. Well,
Right.
we'll give you a shot here and take these.
right.
And that
And-
went on for like 6 years, you know?
And I have fibromyalgia and osteoarthritis, and that's what they put me on to, you know, deaden the pain. They didn't dead the pain, they deadened my brain.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Instead of getting to the core,
right.
they danced around it.
Right. And I'm grateful that I do not have the addictive brain, that my pharmacist put me back on the medication and weaned me off of it. I had no idea. I just couldn't, like, oh, forget it. I'm not going to live like this, and stop taking it. So it was nice
I
to
did like 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
And it
So
was not the best times of my life.
yeah,
Let me tell you
yeah.
that.
But the nice thing was,
I
I
did
don't
not
have the
pick up.
addictive brain. So once I was weaned off of it, there was no craving. There was
Compulsion. Yeah.
there's nothing. Like, they make me deathly ill to begin with, so I don't get that, euphoria that those that suffer addiction has with all
Yeah,
that
well,
stuff.
I didn't either towards the end of it. Mm-hmm. So
And a lot of people, I hear the stories, like, they bring in patients and everything in our parent group, and a lot of people are there because of a car accident or some kind of accident on the job where they have leg pain, back pain, neck
Work-related
pain.
injuries, then work cassettes.
Yes.
Well, that's why we're in this opiate crisis as we are right now.
Oh,
the
yeah.
doctors overprescribing opiates
Oh,
for
yes.
minor things. Oh, I
Yes.
sprained my wrist. Here, take 10 of these and come back in a week, and I'll give you 10 more.
Right.
You know?
Right, exactly. And that's, that was the go-to. They were making big bucks on that. So
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if
Everybody was.
yeah.
Get in line.
I-
The pharmaceuticals were, the doctors were, the
Yeah.
pharmacies were.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw The Crime of the Century on HBO Max. If you
No.
haven't, oh my gosh.
I could just imagine what it is.
It was insane. If you are in recovery, there are major triggers with heroin needles or what have you. So
Yeah.
be mindful of that. If you do watch that, that is a major trigger in the beginning. And
Well, that's one thing that caused me to quit taking opiates was that right there. Somebody said, "Why are you trying to get these pills all the time? Why don't you just take this?" And I had these two voices in my head. One saying, "Yeah, go ahead," and the other one was going, "Get the hell out of there."
yeah,
So
Yeah.
I listened to them. Get the hell out of there. Mm-hmm. Thank God I did, Mom, because I guarantee you, I would not be talking to you right now.
right.
Guarantee you.
And that is so important that you come to that realization.
Well, God did it for me. I didn't do it.
Right.
He's the one that smacked me in the head and said, "Get out of here."
Yes, and
And twice.
yes, and that's nice because you have that person, you have that aha moment. Not everybody has it either. So
No.
some people, the law steps
Two of
in.
them.
Yeah,
Spiritual experiences, and the people always ask me, "Well, when am I going to have a spiritual experience?" I said, "Just quit thinking about it and let it happen. It will."
right.
You
And,
know?
and whatever that spiritual awakening is,
Yeah.
whether it's God, whether it's the
Could be
doorknob,
anything. Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So
Catching yourself from falling down the steps,
yeah,
It's like, "Oh, boy, that
exactly.
could have hurt." You know?
Exactly. Because I know our other caller that calls in, he, I guess, has a higher power. God is not his higher power, and he lets everybody know that. And, whatever it is that is guiding you to recovery and keeping you in recovery, hey, that is
Good for you.
that's
Exactly.
somebody,
As long as it works and you stay away from what's going to kill you,
right,
and you go towards what's going to save you,
right.
that's what the key is.
Exactly.
You were talking earlier about the preponderance of going back and relapsing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was thinking to myself, it's only because you weren't trained from the inside out.
Right.
You have to train the inside to not go to that spot automatically.
Exactly.
The addictive personality automatically wants to go that way. Mm-hmm. You have to retrain your brain,
Yes.
basically.
I actually, during that presentation today, they were talking about, the relapse and everything. It was a very interesting presentation. So I'm looking forward to, once it's posted up on their feed, to go back and re-listen to it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just the, like I was saying earlier, people that belittle people that relapse instead of learning from them, picking them apart, saying, well, what did you do or not do that, so
Right.
I don't do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's not that we're badgering them or, trying to put them down or anything like that. It's just that we want
But-
to attain the knowledge of
Right.
what not to do.
Right. Think about what put you where you are.
Right.
And I've heard it before. Relapse is part of not working a program.
That's what it is. People always say it's part of sobriety. No, it is not.
Right.
It's part of not working a proper program.
Exactly. And a lot of people have to deal with that shit underlying. And, the rehab may taking care of the addictive
Physical.
part, the drug part, the alcohol part, but they're not taking care of the soul that's deep inside
Exactly.
you. The shit that you've seen, the shit that you've done during that process. So if you're
Gotta
not
clean up
dealing with
both
that,
sides of the street.
yeah,
That's what it comes down to. You
Yeah.
can't just clean one side and expect the neighborhood to thrive.
right, right. Cleaning house, cleaning house. Just get it out. And journaling is probably one of the best ways to also do that. And I think therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy is
Definitely.
important.
Just-
And I'm not
Or
talking about
speaking to another human being, just like me and you were talking right now.
right,
Is
right,
therapeutic,
right.
especially when something's bothering you.
Yeah. And here's a therapy. You have to deal with, who's better for you. Whether it's a psychiatrist who gives out, more medication, you're trying to get off of it, and here's medication, or a therapist that's just into it, whatever one does, whatever job.
Yeah, I had
Without
one
that.
of those that would
Or a
just listen and
spiritual
shake his
advisor.
head.
I mean,
Right.
It could be many
Yeah.
people could be who you're
Well,
most
I had a
comfortable.
spiritual advisor, but that's when I was out west and he lived in a tent, and wasn't very good for me.
No. No, I
Good
think
at all.
Now that's funny because I've often heard that sex while camping is intense.
No, we weren't camping. I didn't have a beach. He was a Indian medicine man.
yeah.
He
didn't
drink
get
the spirit water. He leave the tent for 2 days.
Here,
Tent left me.
here, take some peace pipe.
Oh my God, that reminds us of a funny story. When we were involved in scouting, there was a story. There used to be this guy had a teepee in his yard in our neighborhood. He was a medicine man, a tribal type medicine man, and older guy. And
Yeah.
he was talking to a bunch of scouts, and one of the leaders was standing in the back while he was talking to the room full of scouts, and he picked up a thing off one of the shelves, and he goes, and what's this? He goes, that's a very sacred one of my religion that's never been touched by a white man. It was a real thing. Oh, sorry. Put it back down.
And he was lying.
It's never been touched by like a non-medicine white man. And he's like, oh, sorry. I'm like, oh my God. I will always remember that story.
Yes.
And another guy that did it, it's so
Didn't tell him
funny because I
later.
knew the guy.
I was just kidding. That's what's great.
Yeah, that's funny.
We were going through them caves down in, I think it was West Virginia, some cave down there, and they tell you you're not allowed to touch them stalagmites.
Right,
Because the oil from your finger will screw them up.
right.
So we're walking through the thing, and there was this kid behind me. He was like 18 years old. I go, hey, you just touched that thing. The kid's going, no, I didn't. So,
And be careful not to sit on a stalactite down there like a son of a bitch.
oh, this tour guy was up his ass and over his ass.
Uh-huh.
I didn't touch it.
Yep. Larry,
Then I told her, I
yes.
said, nah, he didn't touch it. No, just
No.
kidding.
It's a natural occurrence.
Yeah. It
Yes.
just looked like he did.
Uh-huh. Larry, you're so true. That's so true. Journaling has helped me get through a lot of things in my life. Whether you journal, you keep it in a book and you put it away and you read back later, or you just crumble it up, throw it away. Getting it out of your head, no matter what, no matter which way you get it out of your head, as long as you're not getting it out with drugs or alcohol. Set your soul free. Just get it out of your, thing. It weighs heavy on you. And the heavier it's weighing, the more likely you are to just continue your drinking or drugging, or cause relapse. And, you want to stay healthy. And journaling is a great way. A gratitude book is also an awesome way to keep yourself
Your
strong.
fourth step doesn't end once you start your fifth step.
Right,
You have to work that fourth step every day.
right,
Every day.
right. You do.
A lot of
It's
people don't. And that's what lets the garbage pile up.
right. And a lot of people, now this is just what I hear. I'm not saying that I know this for a fact. I'm just saying what I'm told, that a lot of people hit that fourth step and that takes them back, dealing with all the shit that they've caused.
Or they get stuck on it for a year.
Right, right.
Yep.
So,
Oh, yeah. There's no reason to be afraid of it.
right.
That's why it says I'm fearless.
Right. and you have your amends too. A lot of people get to that
Yep.
point, and that's a real struggle for a lot of people. But
Well, that's ego. That's all that is. If you
Yeah.
can't make an amend, that's ego.
right,
That's your self-pride.
right. And then a lot of people get stuck on it. But I know that we hear this a lot in our family group, that as long as they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, that's enough for us. They don't have to come and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry for stealing, or smashing
Yeah.
your windows, or burning your house down,
You got to
whatever."
remember, you're on a different side of the street on this. also,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We're one way looking at you, saying, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to."
Yeah.
You're over there like, "Okay, I accept her. Get the hell off my street."
Right, right.
I don't ever
And-
want to see you again.
And it is,
Which
and
is
it,
okay.
and it's so
we have to learn to accept both things.
right.
Both things. Somebody saying, "Get the hell off my street," and somebody saying, "Okay, I forgive you."
Right. And it's weird because we are on this separate street, but we're not either. It kind of is parallel, because you may be chasing your drink or your drug, and in our space, you are our drug. We need to chase and make
Yeah.
you better and fix you.
And you're out in the fast lane, and we're riding the shoulder watching you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's why we
I made that up.
Well, hey.
we work a program
do what you need to
too.
do, Pops.
Yeah, we work a program too, just like a 12-step program with that you work. We work the same one. You're our drug, so we have to, sometimes, step back and let you feel the feelings.
That's why I like talking to you, because I've never been in that position, and
Mm-hmm.
I learned.
Trista, my other badger, honey badger's here. But yes, it's, that's what I liked about the program that we used to watch, because we had somebody in all aspects, the family, the spouse, the friend, the person that was. Yeah, the person that was active, the person that was, just relapsed, the person that is in long-term recovery, the person that lost someone. To hear
That program helped a lot of people.
it did, and to help
A lot of people.
the families understand a lot, because the families, the families just struggle, because we don't know what you're feeling. We don't know what you're going through. If you haven't, suffered being, chained to the drug or the alcohol,
Yeah.
then quite frankly, we don't know what you're going through. And we'll say, oh, well, we know what you're going through. But no, you don't. And
that's gotta be
we need to
one
be
of the hardest
honest.
things, other than losing a child, watching a child destroy themselves with this shit has to
Yes.
be one of the
Yes.
that's got to be second place. Losing that person's it's number one
Right.
as a child, and watching them destroy themselves when you know that they would live
Right.
they just that's scary.
Right. And it's hard. Like
You've
me,
been there.
I didn't lose a loved one, but just knowing how deep and dark the pain was, knowing I could lose someone,
Yep.
was horrendous. It was horrendous. And knowing that pain can go so much deeper, just,
I wrote a poem about that exact thing, about different ways to lose your children.
right.
It's pretty interesting. I looked at it like last week, and it was like, wow, check that out. It's like, does it really matter if they die from an overdose? Does
Right.
it really matter if they get hit by a car,
Exactly.
fall off a cliff? It's all the same thing until you get to the point where you watch them do
Right.
it to themselves.
Right.
That's just totally different.
Right.
You know?
I mean, there's so many different things because you think on occasion when you're raising your child, oh, yeah, oh, I hope when he goes here that he's okay. I know he's going to be crossing that street and there's that possibility, but it's just a quick little blurb. But when you're sitting there watching a child, even a child with cancer,
Oh, yeah.
dealing with a child that has, diabetes,
Disabilities.
just seeing that progress.
A disease like anything else.
Yeah.
You feel helpless.
Right. And the
That's the
disease of
thing.
addiction is no different.
Helpless. Yep.
They may have chose to pick up, they may have chose to experiment, or they may have chose not to read that little pamphlet that the doctor gave you for your prescription. I mean, and it was said before,
Yeah.
you may have chose to pick up. You didn't choose to become an addict.
Nope.
The addiction
An addict
chose
when
you.
you picked up. Yeah, that's right. A lot
So
of people don't understand that.
right. And again, I say it all the time. It's the disease of it won't happen to me. I'm smarter than that.
Well, that was me with alcohol. Mm-hmm. Definitely. My mom would tell me all the time. And I was always under the impression that you either were or you weren't.
Right.
My dad was an alcoholic. My brother, my uncle, big line of alcoholics in the family.
Mm-hmm.
But I was different. You either are or you aren't.
Right.
I wasn't until 1992. 1976 to 92 was party on.
Right. Right.
And then all of a sudden it was like, wow, she might have been right.
Right. Right.
It went from being, like we were talking about, a weekend warrior earlier to a weeknight warrior.
Right. Exactly. And that's how it starts. It doesn't happen overnight. It's
Nope.
it's progressive.
Yeah. And she tried to tell me that, but my stubborn ass Norwegian and Irish, actually.
Yeah.
What the hell did she know?
Right. And that's the hardest thing, because that is the mindset of most people. Won't happen to me. I'm smarter than that.
And now looking back on what I did then is like, oh my God, what she went through watching me destroy myself. How rude, how ignorant. I got to wait to make an amends for that.
Right.
but it's okay. It'll happen. She knows,
Right. Right.
but it just bothers me at times, because she was sober, my dad was sober, and to watch me destroying my life with that shit, it had to be
Right.
a rough ride.
Right.
You know?
It is. It's
I never considered it back then,
Right. I mean, and look at a spouse. Like, the spouse has to look at, all of our money is going to alcohol. It's not going to the mortgage. It's not going to the electric. It's not going to the phone. It's going for pills. It's going for drugs. It's going for alcohol.
Yeah.
And where do they draw the line? Do we stick with them and let this play out and hopefully they find recovery, or do we do the tough
Let 'em
love
just keep,
and say, enough is enough? Do you stay together because for the children, or do you say, I need my children to get out of this situation? So I mean, there's so much that goes into the recovery, whether it's the person or the family member or friend.
It's definitely not a singular disease.
No,
That's for sure.
no, it's
To
definitely
anybody.
a family. And a lot of people I'm finding now, and I'm seeing on the sites that I follow, a lot of people reaching out are friends. My best friend.
One of my
I
good friends just
yep.
called me yesterday, as a matter of fact. He says, hey, man, I haven't drank in 20 days. I'm like, what color's the moon?
Yeah.
I go, when did it turn red?
Mm-hmm.
Is this Adam?
Yeah.
Green, maybe? And I was like, I'm proud of you, man. Good job.
Hey, we have SVB on tonight.
Oh,
So glad you could pop on.
everybody says he has a sexy voice, but have you ever seen his face?
Oh, I've seen his face, and it's a very nice looking face with a very
just
sexy
kidding.
voice.
I'm just kidding.
His
I've never
voice
seen
does
him.
not match his face. He's just
Oh, no?
no. I expect it.
He looks like a zebra and smells like a pig?
I just figured it was a much deeper voice, but no.
Oh.
It's not like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no, he's he's definitely not Mike Tyson, but
Well, I'm going to get off here, hon, so you can get back to the thread.
all right,
But
honey.
I'm still waiting for the March of Dimes to come down the street.
There you
Waiting For a
go.
long time. But
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is.
Yes. Well, you take care, and
I certainly will try.
love talking to you. Love your insight.
Yes, Victor.
Right.
Thank you for all your insight and your
My name is Igor.
Igor.
Igor,
and
it's
tell
Igor.
Natasha
Love
we
you.
said hi.
I will. She's in the shower.
She's in the shower. Okay. Well,
We got to think of a good alias woman name. Natasha's
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
Nastasia is good. I like that name.
Yes.
Reminds
Yeah.
me of like a sexy girl in a
Boris
long
and
gown.
Natasha.
Yes, Morrison.
Boris. Do you remember the cartoons? Mr. Peabody and Boris and Natasha.
Yep. Well, it was good talking to you, Eric. I hope
Thank
you have a
I'll
pleasant
leave
week.
you with this. If love is blind, how could it be love at first sight?
True.
True.
One of them oxymorons.
Yep.
Yep.
Kind of like jumbo shrimp. It's just, where the hell they come up with this shit?
Uh-huh.
And then the other one, don't let your meatloaf. Hang this up. I love you. Bye.
Love you. Take care.
Why don't we park in the driveway and drive on a parkway?
Yep,
It's just
exactly.
these things I never get.
Yes.
Well, that was a great call.
Yes. Eric
Good
always has.
person.
Eric always likes to keep it happening and fun and making a
Intriguing.
point too.
He's always got
yes.
good.
Sorry, I have allergies going on in my eyes for some reason.
I mean, I'm sweating my backside off in here. We got to turn the air off when we go on the air because all you hear is the air conditioner blowing through the microphone. So this room's like triple insulated. It's like a sauna in here.
A sauna.
Sauna.
So how's everybody else doing today? I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you can have a good week coming up. Father's.
I know. I'm excited with Father's Day. I hope I get that tie I've been looking at online. Mm-hmm. The one with the polka dots.
The tall one to go around your tall neck.
Mr. Matthews is here online. Hello, Robert.
Hello, Mr. Matthews.
We're listening.
Glad you could pop in, say hi. Hope everybody is doing well. And please share this out for those that are just popping in. Anybody that needs...
Yes, it does. It's really hot with my cooking show. Some people have been known to get overheated. Especially when I have John's cat show in here.
Yes.
You know, I love a cat show. I mean, the place smells like a litter box.
Mm-hmm. Poor John. Being abused by the neighbor's cats. Sad.
Happy Father's Day, boy. Thank you. Thank you.
He gets nothing but Rita's. Actually, I think I will be a good wife and I'll take him to Yardley Ice House. And they do not pay for any sponsorship here, just so you know.
It's just delectable goodness.
Eric, it's Italian water ice, the best water ice around next to Yardley Ice House.
Oh my gosh, it makes Rita's taste like dishwater.
Yes.
It is the best water. The cherry Bordeaux.
Yes.
Whole black cherries. Oh my god.
I always try different ones.
I get a little tingly.
Yes.
And I must admit, I get a quart. It's a better bargain. And the guy looks me up and down at my fat ass. He goes, you want a lid on that? It's fun as I have to say, no lid, please, because then they scoop it up higher and make it.
Yes.
I don't care. I'll take the ridicule. I'll take the dirty looks. That stuff is great.
Reading to Cats with John Kay was a classic episode. Yes. Poor John. He's getting abused. He's not even here, and he knows a lot.
I always took him as a dog person, but who knew he had such an affinity for the felines?
You know what, Brian? We still have the ice cream man that comes around.
I don't even get started with that. Yeah. You know your family's ordering too much Mr. Softies when the guy stops to help carry furniture in your house for you that you're struggling with. When the ice cream man parks his truck out front and carries 2 recliners in the house for you, you know your wife's buying way too much friggin' ice cream off the ice cream
That's
man.
my granddaughter.
Oh, let me help you with that. I will help you. I know you're going to hurt yourself.
We call him the music man, so that's our code name. So we turn up the TV, we turn on the stereo just so she doesn't hear them, because the minute she hears them, she does not give us a break.
She knows that tune.
We took her to the shore yesterday. That's all she talked about. We going to the shore? We going to the beach? I want to go to the beach. Yes, I'm blaming it on the granddaughter because it's fact. It's fact. And fat grandmom goes out with her and gets one too. Always.
Oh, Bob, you won't be disappointed. I tell you, I grew up in South Philly where water ice originated. This is the best damn water ice I ever had, that Yardley Ice House. Oh, my God, it's so good.
Oh, it's the best. And it's in Yardley. That's probably why it's called Yardley Ice House. But
Boy, you are on top of your game today, woman.
It is really good. Really good. And it's hard. It's on Main Street, I believe, right?
Correct.
It is on Main Street, but it's behind
A bank or
a
something.
bank or a real estate place. So you have to really watch for the
Right
sign.
around where Wawa is there, but on the other side of the street.
Right. Really a good place. You should check it out.
Does he have crunchies? We call them Jimmies here, sir.
What the hell are
They're not
crunchies?
sprinkles. We never call them crunchies. They are Jimmies.
They're Jimmies. I don't know what crunchies are.
What
but
are crunchies?
Would they be the sprinkles, the
I'd probably
rainbow
add that
sprinkles?
Crunched up tidbits like they put in crackle bars
Yeah.
and all that.
Yeah. Oh, Carvel. No.
Carvel. Ah!
No, you haven't lived.
Cookie Puss! I couldn't even stand that guy's voice in a commercial. The guy from Christ, he had a mouthful
Right.
of ice cream. I mean, hot a Cookie Puss!
You have not lived until you had a gelati. They're amazing, especially with the coffee soft serve or custard
Gelatis is Rita's.
With-
Rita's water ice.
with chocolate
That's their spin.
water ice. Amazing. And that's through Rita's. So if you ever get up here, Brian, you'll have to try out some water ice and a real
Tom
cheesesteak.
Carvel. Come on, Bob. You can't tell me that guy didn't have an annoying voice. Why did he do his own commercials? Cookie Puss and Willie the Whale or whatever that is.
Yeah, Willie the Whale. Oh
I don't
my
know. I
gosh.
forget the whale's name. I remember Cookie Puss.
Yes. Yes. They have Rita's there, Brian. And you don't get it, you're crazy.
Oh, you
They're
gotta
the
have a
best.
Rita's gelati. My
Yes.
favorite is mango with vanilla ice cream. Oh yeah,
We actually live right down the street from the very first
the
Rita's.
original Rita's.
The original.
And I sold her code base molding back in the holy crap 80s
80s.
when she was building.
Oh, you're going to be in your glory, Trista. Trust me.
What was this? I'm building a water ice place in Bed Salem. It's going to be the best water ice I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the middle of South Philly selling quarry tile. Then and she came down every.
Oh, not cookies and cream. Ah,
And
chocolate
I said,
only.
good luck with that lady with your water ice place. Who'd have known she'd become a water ice kingpin?
Right, exactly. Well, guys, it's 10:30. Hopefully next week we will have a speaker. I'm trying to
Well,
work
you don't have to
on
look and listen to me. I
speakers.
just fill in like Ed
yes.
McMahon. Hey,
Yes. Everybody have a great Friday. If you guys are struggling or you need support, you need to reach out. Please give us a call at 267-737-8031. We're always here listening. If you just need an ear to listen, you want to cry, scream, whatever you need, we're here.
and my wife's up all night long, so feel free to call. She's up all night long. Every time she's on that phone talking to somebody. I was like,
So everybody just, have a good week. Stay strong. Reach out for your support if you're struggling. I'll post the next week's show. I post it very late this week. So hopefully we'll have a speaker and a topic.
I hate this shirt. You see my belly button right through. I got to make this
I hate
seat
all my
lower.
shirts. They make me look big.
I got
but-
this chair all the way down. I'm trying to get under the desk here to hide my gut.
So everybody have a great Friday.
Good gang. Have a great weekend. Have a great Father's Day. All you fathers out
Yes,
there.
happy Father's Day. We will be seeing you here next week. If you're struggling, especially because of Father's Day, please reach out.
Really?
We're here. We can listen. We can go out and have coffee. We can go out and have ice cream. We can go out and have Rita's. Give us a call. We're here. Everyone,
Thanks for tuning in, and remember, recovery works if you work it.
and remember to share out. Everybody, peace out.
but I'm having an old friend for dinner.